Guys, Matt from Renclif Media here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to be talking about the tracking shot, and I'm going to be going over some techniques and tips on how to get the best results with your tracking shots. This is going to involve things like how to keep your subject in focus, what compositions look best with tracking shots, and just various other tips which will hopefully help you guys to really nail your tracking shots. Now, if you don't know what a tracking shot is when the camera follows the movement of the subject. So often these shots are done with gimbals or steady cams, and the type of shot is when a character might be walking through a scene and the camera is actually following the character, and you're seeing what the character is doing. It's revealing where the character is going in the story and the location and the setting of where the character is walking or running or whatever they may be doing in the scene. The first thing I like to do before I even start filming my tracking shots is check my camera settings. I like to make sure that my ISO, my exposure, my shutter speed and my white balance are all set correctly. Now, I like to set my white balance to a Kelvin temperature setting based on the lighting conditions around me. And when I put my sequence together, all my white balance and my color temperatures are all going to be consistent, so I can color grade everything really easily. The second thing I like to do is make sure that my subject is in focus before I even start walking. So before I start walking with the camera and I start tracking my subject, I like to make sure that they're in focus. And I do this by using my focus peaking on my camera. Now, I like to shoot a lot with manual lenses, and for that reason I use my focus peaking to ensure that everything is in focus. I like to set my focus peaking to high and set it to a red color, and that allows me to see when everything is highlighted in red, and I know that my subject is in focus before I even start filming. The technique that I use is to actually try and walk in sync with my subject, and I do that by following the same movements that they do. So if they're walking left, right, left, right, left, right to begin with, I like to begin the same way so that my steps are following their steps. And that just helps you to keep in sync with their motion and also to keep the same distance between the camera and the subject in front of you. And that's going to make sure that everything's in focus. So 60 frames per second allows you to slow everything down in post by 50% and drop your video clips into a 30 frames per second timeline. And that just makes the slight bumps and the slight camera shake when you're watching the video playback, it makes it less noticeable. So that tends to make the footage look smoother by reducing it to 50% speed. And it also can make your shots look more cinematic. You can get those slow-mo scenes where the character is running along and you're following them or you're chasing them. Another technique that I like to use when I'm doing my tracking shots is to try and keep my subject in the center of frame when I'm following them. That tends to draw your eye to the subject, and you're also looking either side of the subject, you're looking around them, and it's not distracting because you're not looking off to one side or the other, you're looking directly at the subject and you're following them as they walk through the scene. This is also ideal if you're following a subject which is walking along a bridge, for instance, and you've got the leading lines of the bridge pointing towards them. So these techniques can be very powerful as they help to really focus your attention on the subject and draw your eye further to what they're doing. Well, that's it for that short video, guys. I hope you found this helpful, and I really hope it helps you to master those tracking shots and improve your filmmaking techniques.